Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl, Audrey Codner from ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Well, it just started to snow here in Baltimore, but hey, what up? What up? Gotta love the internet. Here we go. All right. Now we're back to it. That was weird. Generally keeps kicking me out. But is it snowing outside? Yes, it is, Justin. Yes, it is. All right, so let me updo everything. Okay. For a second there. Okay. You thought it was your phone? I know, right? So here we are. Okay, let's get back to it. So we got a bunch of fives. We got a bunch of fives. We got some T's. Okay, Yosef says 5, obvious. But sometimes it's not so obvious with everyone. So that's what we got. But yes, our answer for this one is going to be B5. Because we're looking at what's called the slope-intercept form. Okay, so your M is going to be your slope. That means that's the change of Y's over the change of X. And your B, that's your initial. That's your starting point. That is your Y-intercept. So anytime people always say when they need to graph this, they're just like, I don't know where to start. Always start on the Y-axis at your Y-intercept. So now let's go for the next one. Okay, what is the value of the absolute value of -7 plus the absolute value of 3? Is it A, 4, B, -4, C, 10, or D, -10? So if you know the answer, you can go ahead and just put that right on into the chat. Oops, let me get my chat situated here. All right, so I got some -4s. I got an A. I got some C's. We got Hatchikel. We got C's, Harmony C. Okay, all the loops. C, Sal saying CCC. We got Colton C. We got 10. You're welcome. Oh, thank you. Didn't ask for that. Okay, and Munch. We got T's. We got 10s. We got -10s. All right, we got someone saying Bo Derek. Wow, you are really aging yourself. Okay, so we got our C's, we got our B's, we got -4. So we got a combination of A's, B's, and C's. So let's take a look. So if we're talking about the absolute values, remember the absolute value is the distance away from 0. So if I have my line here, say this is my 0, this is my +7, this is my -7. So no matter what, from 0 to 7, that's going to be 7 units. And from 0 to -7, that's also 7 units. It's going in the opposite direction, but it's still 7 paces. So that's why the absolute value of a negative number always turns out positive. And then the absolute value of a positive number stays positive. So that means we have 7 plus 3, and 7 plus 3 gives me 10. My answer is C. All right? All right, here we go. So that's why absolute values are always positive, because it is your distance away from 0. So now let's take a look at the next one. I want you to solve. I know you see a fraction, you're like, no. But yes, you can do it. So I want you to solve this. X over 4 plus 1, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit to help you out, okay, is equal to 5. What is X? Is it A, 16, B, 20, C, 24, or D, 12? What do you think? So I have a whole bunch of A's, a couple of B's. We got some A's, got a couple of B's. We have a 20. Okay, Jazzy, I see you with the A's. We got 16s with 16s. You're saying this is easy? Hey, it's easy for you, but it's not easy for everyone. That's why I built this platform. I'm dealing with a lot of the students that are just like, you know what? Math is not my thing. I don't like math. This is the reason why I'm on this platform, okay? But if this is way too easy, hey, thanks for stopping by. But you can scroll on through, okay? All right, so we have it all for the A's with C's. We have the 16s. Math's not your thing. I got you. Appreciate you. Not a problem. I appreciate you too, Carlos. There we go. We got the real Leah. We got with 16s. Yes. So this is all for prepping to get you guys ready for obviously your GED, maybe your algebra, also for the ASVAB, and for the ACCUPLACER, okay? Really hitting on those. And if those are taking your TEAS test and your HESI test, trust me, these algebra components will help you as well. So now let's take a look. So anytime we're solving, the goal is to isolate our variable, our x. So right now, the x is paired up with this -4 or this division of 4. So first thing I need to get rid of is this 1. So we have a +1. So we need to do the inverse of addition, which is subtraction. Whatever you do on one side, the equal sign, you must do onto the other side. So +1 minus 1 gives us 0, but we don't need that placeholder because we still have that x over 4. So now 5 minus 1, that gives me 4. So we have x divided by 4. That's what the fraction bar is for, okay? That's division. In order for us to solve, we need to do the inverse. And the inverse of division is multiplication. So we're multiplying both sides by 4. So when we do that, 4 divided by 4, that gives me 1. And we can just say 1x or just simply x. And now we got 4 times 4, which gives us 16. So you can do this algebraically, or you can take one of your answers, plug it in for x, and to see which one will give you a solution of 5. So if I plug that 16 for the x, 16 divided by 4 will give me 4, plus 1 will give me 5. That is my answer. So there's two ways, there's multiple ways of getting the same answer. And it's up to you to figure out which one works for you. Okay? All right. Yep. It just says solve. Right. Well, what else are you going to solve for? What are we going to solve for? The new nuclear world? Okay. There's no other thing. It just says solve. Exactly. So you solve. All right, so now let's take a look. Woo, let's go with the next one. Blessed be to God. Let's do it. All right, so here's another one. It says solve. What do you think you're going to solve for? You're going to solve for x. I've been tutoring most of the morning, so here we go. That's all right. So we have 5 times x minus 2 minus 3 times x plus 1. Now, it's not really going to be so much equals to anything. We're going to try to simplify this and solve it till we get to down to nitty of the gritty. So would our answer be A, 2x minus 13, B, 2x minus 7, C, 2x minus 3, or D, 8x minus 13? If you think you got your answer, go ahead and put it in. All right, Jacqueline, I got you. Just take your time with it, okay? All right, so we are no longer those kids that sit in the classroom and it seems like everybody else is getting it and not you. You're not that anymore, okay? I'm here to sit here, take it step by step. There's going to be other people like, go ahead, do the next one, do the next one. They don't control me. The only one that controls me is God, baby. That's it, okay? And if it's too much for you, again, thank you for stopping by. All right. So how do I use this in real life? Well, Jenny, it depends on what are you going to do with real life. What is your interpretation of real life? Okay. What is your goals? What is your dreams? A lot of people do this, especially for higher power positions. But at the same time, is it for everyday use? Some of it is. But again, I don't know what you're going to do in life. But this is what I like to do. I'd rather have you see something and say, oh, I've seen this before, versus what the hell is this, right? Because when you say the first one, people are like, oh, okay, all right, so she's got something. But when you're like, I've never seen this day in my life, I don't know what I'm going to do, they're always going to put you in some kind of place that you don't want to be in, all right? We want that advantage, all right? So we got some B's, we have some A's. Candy, hey, Candy, is saying my C's. AJ saying A. Okay, add them, an A. Okay, we got an A-B combo. All right, of course, a lot for engineering. Yes, I know a lot of it's going to get replaced, but we're going to work until that day comes through. All right, smart guys saying definitely it's B. Okay, how you getting A? It's B. All right, well, we're going to see. Hey, we got some people that are saying it's C. So let's see. All right, so let's take a look. So we have a good combination of A's and a couple of B's. And then here's a couple of people like, can't solve. Got it. All right, but let's take a gander. So right here, we're going to be doing our distributive property. So we're going to do distributive property not once, but twice. Let's see if I can switch pens up just so we can be okay. So now, when we distribute, we multiply. So 5 times x, that gives us 5x. And then 5 times negative 2, that gives us a negative 10. All right. So now, when you distribute this next one, this is what gets a lot of people. A lot of people will just distribute the 3. No, this minus sign is acting as a negative. So we're going to distribute that negative 3 to everything inside the parenthesis. So this will be a negative 3x. And negative 3 times 1 will give me a negative 3. Remember, when you're multiplying and the signs are opposite, your answer is always going to be negative. Now at this point, we're going to try to find our like terms. We're going to combine our x's with our x's, including the proper signage. So we have a positive 5x and we have a negative 3x. So if I had $5 and then I spent, because I'm taking money away from myself, that means I have $2 left. So when I take a look at the negative 10 and the negative 3, they both have the same signs. So it's almost like if I'm using a credit card, I'm just putting myself further and further in debt. So I have to keep my negative, but then I'm adding the amounts. So 10 plus 3, that gives me 13. So my answer here is going to be 2x minus 13, which is A. And a lot of people who said B, the reason why you said B is that you did not bring that minus sign with the 3 when you distribute. You probably had a positive 3 right here instead of a negative 3. All right, so all we have to do is just make adjustments, guys. We're not perfect, okay? All we have to do is just make some time, okay? All right. So how's everyone doing? This is easy? Okay, good. Thought it was going to be B, but you see now what happened, okay? You see now what happened. Do I do trig tutoring? Yes, I do. I do private tutoring. I'm going to discuss that in a moment. All right. Do I do geometry? Yes, I do. I do that for my private tutoring sessions only, not on TikTok. So TikTok, I just focus mostly on the algebra because that seems to be the majority of what everyone needs assistance with at one time. And geometry is more of like a specialty. And for my tutoring sessions, I charge $87 an hour, and I'm worth every single solitary penny. All right. So let's get with number 20. And after number 20, we're just going to take a mini pause so we can get all these likes up so we can tell TikTok, hey, this chick is actually something that people need. We want to get more of this. All right. So we're going to convert 3500ths to a fraction in its simplest form. So is it A, 35 over 10? Is it B, 7/20? Is it C, 1/3? Or is it D, 3/5? Okay, so we got some A's, we have some B's. Okay. Hey, K. Marie. Pre-calculus on YT? No. I just stick with pre-calc for my private tutoring. I'm just doing that for now. Okay, so we got some A's, we got some B's, A's and B's, A's and B's. Okay, well, there's a tax of the A's and the B's. Okay, now we got some people switching over to B's. We got Island Girl with a B, Jonathan with a B, K Smiles for me, Jamiaka with D. Okay, Holmes, we got D's. Okay, we got D's, we got C's, we got A's, we have B's. And this is the reason why, my loves. Because of the variation of points. I love when people are like, this is really easy. But here's the thing. Because I see so much variation, this is what makes me kind of happy. So, this is what a lot of people are getting mixed up. When we're saying 35 hundredths, okay? When it is one decimal place, that's your tenths, okay? So if we have our decimal point, we have a couple spots, okay? Right here is your tenths. There's no such thing as once with the THS at the end. So you have your tenths, then you have your hundredths. Okay, then right here will be your thousandths. Okay, before the decimal place, this is your ones. Okay, your one spot. So we are looking at the second. Okay, second decimal place. So when you do this conversion to a fraction, it's in the second place. That means it has to be the hundredths. So that means I need to put that 35 over not 10, but over 100. Okay, we got to add another 0. So right away, answer choice A, gone. Okay, so now we need to reduce this. So we need to think, what number does 35 and 100 have in common so we can reduce it very well? All right. So we have, yes, Tamika, thank you. Lori, yes, thank you. Christian, thank you. Lubes, how are you? Okay, Shona, thank you. Ellie, thank you. It's going to be 5s, guys. Good job. So if I reduce it, if I know what number they have, I can basically divide that number by those numbers. So 35 divided by 5, that will give me 7. And then 100 divided by 5, that will give me 20. Okay, so now I got 7 and I got 20. 7's odd and prime. 20 is even and not prime. So they don't really have anything else in common. So this is as low as it go, just like if I'm playing limbo. All right, so my answer for that would be 7/20. Now, normally I would say, hey, why don't you just put these in the calculator and see which one gives you 0.35? I would love to say that as a tactic, but I can't. Because when you take the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, you cannot use a calculator. So you're really going to have to hit hard on that mental math. So you need to practice the way that you're going to play. All right. So right now there is 1.4K people in here. So if we can, let's see if we can get up to 10K. And while you guys are doing this, I'm going to show you a little preview. Okay. All right. How teacher wants to show your work. Yes, you're teachers, but see, for me, I try to hit on people that are taking exams. Now, when they're taking the exams, you don't need to show your work, okay? But if the teacher needs for you to show your work for that last problem, you could basically divide each of the problems. Now, I know some people are here. I appreciate you, love you dearly. But if you want, then you can go here for any of my replays. All my replays from February 2nd of last year, it's all inside of a playlist called TikTok Lives. Okay, so right now we're taking a quick little break, but I need everyone to get up to 10K. We gotta let TikTok know that this is something that people need to reach out for. Okay, so go ahead. Thank you so much for checking in, Winter. I appreciate you. All right, so So we're almost there. Okay, so I can get right back to it. So if anything, you can go ahead and subscribe. This is what I do. This is how I tutor. I also have books and workbooks to help people that are trying to get their GED, their ASVAB, and the ACCUPLACERs. And later on, I'm going to actually show some of you guys what some of those books look like. And if you're curious what it looks like while we're going through the live, go ahead. The link is in the bio. All right. Okay, as promised, thank you so much. All right. So, going back to it. So this one, I have to bring it in a little bit. Okay, so we need to find the area of a triangle whose base is 10 units and a height of 5 units. So we need to find the area of a triangle whose base is 10 and its height is 5. Is the answers, I don't know why this is so large and it won't let me shrink. Okay, so our answers, we have 50, we have B 25, C 15, or D 20. Okay, so again, we're looking for the area of a triangle. Is it A 50, B 25, C 15, or D 20? Okay, we got some 25s, we got some 50s, we got Bs. You don't know this one yet? Okay, mama, I got you. All right, Roy Walker 25. Kimberly is saying 50. Okay, area is multiplication. All right, so Nick with the 50, Bree with the B saying 25, Stormy with a C with 15. Okay, forgot, no problem. I'm gonna help you out, all right? I wish I can zoom out, but this is out. Okay, what's the height? The height is 5 units. There we go. Let me slide that over. So the height is 5 units. Thank y'all. All right, so we got 50 would be for square root. Okay, so we got combinations of 50 and 25s. You're so welcome. All right, so we got 50s and 25s. So we got our areas. Gemini with 25s. Huh? With 25? Just a fan with 25s. All right, so I'm seeing 25s and I'm seeing 50s. So let's get to it. So the area of a triangle, it is your base times your height divided by 2. I know a lot of you guys know it's 1/2 the base times height. It's the same blessed thing. So they're giving you your base. Your base is 10. They're giving you your height. Your height is 5. So if you just did 10 times 5, you didn't give me the area of a triangle. You gave me the area of a rectangle. But if we need to go from here to a triangle, we need to divide by 2. So that 50 divided by 2 will give us our 25. And then whatever the units is squared units. So our answer in this case is actually B. Okay. Can I also do physics? No, Spongy Bob, that is not my world. So sorry. Okay. All right. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Or no to the physics of that. Or 20 years ago when I was in college? That's a good question. I think I was somewhere teaching somewhere. Area of a rectangular prism, that's length times width times height. So the 3 numbers that they give you, you just have to take those 3 numbers and multiply them. Okay. All right. Let's keep this going. All right. So next one, we have x squared is equal to 25. Is your answer A, positive 5, B, negative 5, C, plus or minus 5, or D, 25? Put your answer in the chat. We're seeing 5, 5, 5, 5, 5s. We're seeing a whole bunch of A's. We're seeing A's, a couple sprinkles of C, Tanner with the C, Light with a C, QB with a C. Okay, with C, we got Cat, we got this, we got Karen, we got that. Okay, it's an easy question. I love, Sherry, when you say it's an easy question, which is awesome. But I'm getting a mixture of answers here. This is what's driving me crazy. All right, so I'm seeing some C's, I'm seeing some A's, I'm seeing some A's, I'm seeing some C's, I'm seeing some A's with question marks. Thank you, Pisces. All right, wine. All right, I see that one. I see with the B. Sin, I see with C. All right, so let's take a look. Miss T, I see you as well. Thank you guys for checking on in. Now, here is the thing. The inverse of a square, of a number squared, the inverse of that is a square root. Okay? Listen to the words, a squared and a square root. They're inverses of each other, just like how addition and subtraction are inverses of each other. They will cancel each other out. What's left on this left-hand side is our x equals. Now, our original exponent was to the second power, a squared. So that's telling you how many solutions you should have. You need to have 2 solutions. So the square root of 25, yes, that does give me 5, but it gives me a positive and negative 5. Let me prove it to you. If I take 5 and I square it, I'm going to get 25. If I take negative 5 and I square it, I also get 25. Because negative times a negative gives me a positive. So when you're solving word problems and they're saying, okay, what's the height of a pole? Because they're always using Pythagorean's theorem. Or if they're saying how far is the boxer from the ball. I don't know. I'm really working here. That's why we always use the positive, because it doesn't make sense that a dog is like negative 5 feet away from a ball. Doesn't make sense. So we focus solely on the positive. But in actuality, you're going to have both positive and negative numbers represented. Because even if you try to graph it, you'll actually see your parabola, which opens up like a cup. Okay, and it's going to have 2 solutions. One's going to be at negative 5, and the other one's going to be at positive 5. Okay, so it is going to be C. Okay, all right. You feeling warm? All right, I got you. So here's another one. Let's see. Which point, let's see if I can make it a little less jumbled for you guys. Which point lies on the line y equals 2x plus 1? Is it A, 0, 0, B, 1, 3, C, 2, 4, or D, 3, 5? Makes so much sense? Good. Yeah, the stuff that I'm showing you guys is a mixture of items that you would generally see in the GED, an ASVAB, or ACCUPLACER assessment. ACCUPLACER can go a little bit deeper, okay, because they try to see how far you can go, especially up to like pre-calculus, okay? So I just try to hit on the most commonly missed ones so we can start building our scores up and actually build up our confidence with math, okay? That's why I'm here, confidence builder. Okay, Nick is saying B. We got some B's, we have some C's. Sorry, Nick, C. All right, so we have all our C's, has a couple B's. So how can we tell? Okay, how can we tell? We got like a nice little D. So here's the thing. One of the things that we can do, you see all of my order pairs. Order pairs are just like the alphabet. Your X comes before your Y's. So here's the fun part. If you plug in the X and it comes up with the answer is that Y value, boom, that's your point. So this is what I'm saying. For the first one, we have 2 and we substituted 0 in. So 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 1, that equals 1. But my y value is a 0. So that doesn't work. Let me do it again. We have our equation. We're going to plug our 1 in, or plug in our x. So this time it's 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. And that's what we got as a y value. Boom. That's my answer. And like, well, what happens if there's another point? No, there won't be another point. It doesn't say select all. If it has like something in parentheses that says select all, keep it moving. Okay? Go ahead and see if you got another one. But all you're basically doing is plugging in your x values into the equation, and whatever your answer is, if it equals your y value, that's your answer. All right? Okay. All right. So you have to go to work. All right. Lovely to meet you. Just go ahead and follow me. Follow me to find out when's the next time I go live. I do not have a schedule anymore. Because I try to get all my tutoring people situated before I do anything. Okay. All right. So here we go. Yep. So now we want to simplify. We have x to the 5th times x to the 3rd. Is your answer A, x to the 5th, B, x squared, C, x to the 8th, or D, 2x to the 8th? What do you think? I got C, C's, got D's, got a C with that, question mark with a B. I got a D. Why are we doing a V, Muhammad? You're okay? You having a stroke? What's going on? All right, so we got D with user 21. We got D's, we got C's, a whole bunch of C's. Answer is B. Okay, blue is saying C's. Whole bunch of C's, D, C's, D, C, D, C, D, C, D, C, D, C, D, 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 C, C, C. Okay. All right, so let's take a gander. What do we do? All right, so let's think of it this way. I'm going to make it nice and long. So your exponent is telling you how many times you're going to multiply that base. So we're multiplying this base of x 5 times, right? Then we're going to multiply it with an additional, switch up my pens, with the additional 3. So now, when you have it, then you're going to add all your x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's the form. This is what you can do instead of putting it all out like this at the extended form. All you're basically doing is taking that base, and when you're multiplying, you are adding the exponents. Okay? So when you're multiplying, you add the exponents, which gives you x to the 8th. And you're probably saying, well, it should be 2x to the 8th, Audrey. No, because we're multiplying. Look in between. If you don't see a plus sign, that means we're multiplying. And plus, if there was a plus sign there, the exponents have to be the same. So that's 1 times 1, which gives me 1. So my answer is C. Okay. Oh, just in that. Good job. All right. So I know there's lots of rules. But we have to get these down. We got a few more to go. So let's see. Keep sticking with me, people. You're doing great. Okay. You may feel that, I'm still a little rusty. That's fine. Okay. Everything rusty needs a little bit of oil. Let me give you that oil. Here we go. Okay. So if you see what you're following along and you're like, oh, I'd love to have you as my tutor. Hey, not a problem. I do tutoring. Just make sure you send me a message. Okay. Just send me a message so I can make sure I make the adjustments. All right. So you're solving for Z or Z, depending on where you're from. So we have 3z plus 1 is equal to z plus 9. So we need to solve for z. So is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 10, or D, 2? Okay, got a whole bunch of B's, I got an A, got a 4, got a 5, got some D's. Okay, the answer is not Z because you need to find Z, darling. Okay, we have some A's, we got some A's, we got some 4s and 4s, we got A, way to go, Jay. Answer is A, so easy. Okay, the answer is A, so easy. All right, well, let's see. Okay, so I have some 5s, I have some 4s, I have some D's with the 2s. Okay, a couple D's. Okay, one thing I haven't seen is any C's, but I am seeing, oh, there it is. I was like, as soon as I say it, it's going to pop up. All right. Okay. Just need to know the process. Gotcha. All right. So, Andre, please, darling, act like you have some home training, my love. All right. Get your life together. Do not fall beneath in order. So we can do one of two things. We can start taking some of our answers, especially when you have multiple choice. See if you can take some of your answers and plug them in for the Z's or Z's and see if you get the same answer on both sides. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is actually putting all your Z's on one side, all your constants on the other side of the equal sign, and solve for Z. So this is what I mean. I want to move this 1Z over to next to this 3Z. So in order for me to do that, I have to do the inverse, which is subtracting the Z. So when I move the Z over to the left-hand side, that means this 1 needs to go over to the right-hand side. So I'm going to do the opposite of plus 1. I'm going to minus 1. So now on the left-hand side, I have 3Z minus 1Z, which 1Z gives me 2Z equals, now I have 9 minus 1, that gives me 8. So now I want to get Z by itself. So 2Z, when I see that, that's multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So Z is equal to 8 divided by 2, which gives me 4. If you plugged it in, you have 3 times 4 plus 1 over here, and then you have 4 plus 9 over here if you plugged it in. So 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 gives you 13. And then 4 plus 9, that also gives you 13. So that's why 4 or A is going to be your answer. Okay. Yes, you can. Go ahead, Ron. You can screenshot that. All right. Okay, so I like to take it step by step. Not a problem. Step by step. For the practice math, yes, I do. Okay. So, okay. All right, thanks, Jacinda. We'll count when you needed it. I don't know. I just started doing it and doing this seriously, I can't believe over a year ago. So I'm here. But if anyone, still follow, because you never know. You might have someone who has a niece, a nephew, a cousin, a neighbor, or someone that's in need of tutoring. And especially the month of March, that's when I start picking up, because people are like, you know what? We tried to let our kid try to dig his or her way out of this math thing for a semester, and now it's time for them to get some help. I'm here to help, okay? All right, so let's take a look. Multiply, we have x plus 2 times x minus 5. Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so we got some C's, we got some A's, a couple B's. Hello, Armstrong, how are you? Okay, we have our C's, Candy with an A, Nick with a C, I see you. All right, so we got some C's, Surplus with an A, Zara with an A, Pat with a, I just went away, C, there you go. Okay, So yes, Jacinda, there you go. FOIL method. Yes, yes, yes. So again, I'm getting C's, I'm getting A's, I'm getting C's, I'm getting A's. Bradley, I see you with the C. Jamal, I see what you got. Seth is A. Okay. So I'm seeing about C's and A's, C's and A's. Got a random D with Armstrong. Thank you. Okay. How'd you get it? I'm going to show you guys in a moment because I just want to see what people got. Okay. All right, little Pooh or Alicia Pooh, calm yourself down. Come on, act like you got some home training now. It's going to happen. Okay. Don't let society rush you. All right. Okay. So we got all that with the C's and A's. You're terrible at algebra, Diamond. You're okay. It's how that algebra was presented to you, my child. You're going to be all right. So now, like some people said, we have two binomials here. What we can do is FOIL. So when we have that x, we're going to multiply. We're going to distribute this x to everything in that second parenthesis. So x times x gives me x squared. And then x times negative 5 gives me negative 5x. Okay. Now we're going to take this positive 2 and we're going to distribute that to everything inside the parenthesis. So 2 times x, that gives me a positive 2x. And 2 times negative 5, that gives me a negative 10. So just by looking at this, right here in the middle, we have like terms. Okay, and most of the time when you do, after you do your FOIL, your like terms are going to be in the center. So we have negative 5 plus 2. So you owe me $5. You paid me $2. That means you still owe me $3. So now that minus 10, that comes down. And our x squared, that comes down. So since we have a middle term, that's why option C is going to be gone. And when we combined it, the signs were opposite, so it's not going to be a 7. We're not adding them. We're actually going to be subtracting. When the signs are opposite, you subtract. And it gave us a negative. So our answer is A. Okay. All right. Okay. I know, right? Big Al, calm down. You do not nuts. Okay. Can you solve from there? There's no more solving. There's no equal sign. Okay. So we got it all the way down to as far as we could. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's try this one. So what is 3/4 as a percent? Is it A, 30%, B, 50%, C, 60%, or D, 75%? Look at my smart people. Look at this. It's a sea of them. It's a sea of them. Excellent. All right, we're not even going to play around with that. Good job, guys. I haven't seen one person except for the one with the S. You know who you are. All right, we got one more page left, and then we are done for today. So we kind of did something like this yesterday. All right, so we just need to simplify this. So we have x plus 2 over x squared minus 4. Is your answer A, x minus 2? Is it B, 1 over x minus 2? Is it C, 1 over x plus 2? Or is it D, 1? Ooh, how are we going to simplify? Okay. I can't say who put that up there. Joshua. We can't say that. Two binomials always factor into a trinomial. Because the reason why I want to say that, what about the difference of squares? Because difference of squares, those are both binomials, but that doesn't give you a trinomial. Okay? But I love the thought process though. Okay? So we got some B's, we got some D's. Falls backwards, okay? In the denominator, all right. Wait, it might be A. Okay, waiting. So I got some B's and A's, B's and A's. Got a D, Chi, right? KY. All right, we got A's, we got B's. Okay, we got A's, we got B's, actually. Okay, factoring out. All right, so B's and A's, flips and change signs. Okay, we got some B's and A's, so simple. I'm stuck, not a problem. See, I love that. I love when one person's like, oh, this is so simple. Another person's like, I'm about to freak out, you know? All right. Okay, it's like, this is freshman math. Okay, why do we get the answer? When do we get the answer? You're going to get it in a moment. Keep your girdle on. It's all right. All right, rah-rah, you're saying you're lost? Okay. All right. So here we go. You're learning this right now, baby Blitz? Good. All right. So first off, we have to understand, and this is a prime example. Right here in this denominator, we have x squared minus 4. The reason why I'm tackling that, because that is a difference of squares, whereas the numerator is already in its lowest state. Can't really do anything else. And plus x and 2, we don't have anything in common. So I'm going to cover that up for a second. And let's focus on this x squared minus 4. Well, if I factor x squared minus 4, I notice there are a difference of squares. 1, the number that's in front of that x squared is a 1. 2, we have 2 of the x's. And 3, the last number, the constant, that's also a perfect square. So if I take the square root of that 4, that will give me 2. Because 2 times 2 will give me that 4. But I'm not looking for just a positive 4. I'm looking for a negative 4. So that means one of our parentheses have to be positive, and the other one has to be negative. Now, for the numerator, this is where we're just going to carry it on in. Put it over x plus 2. What do you notice? What do you notice? Okay, Ian, when you're calling other people stupid, when you're pointing one finger at other people, there are 3 fingers going back at you. Stop. Okay. Yes, super soaker. There you go. We got that x plus 2. They can cancel out. The reason why, we got 1 in the numerator, 1 in the denominator. And it's basically saying if I do x plus 2 divided by x plus 2, that will give me the equivalent of 1. So now what's left over is 1 over x minus 2. So my answer is going to be B. Okay, so it's one of the things we have to understand what factoring is. Okay, so remember, if you guys go here, I got a whole thing. There's over 300, I think there's almost going on 400 videos. Okay, that's all on and inside that playlist. And it's free for right now. All right, so you got GED Math Tutoring, all right? So when you go there, I have things that are just how to break down factoring, how to break down with the GCF, how to do when your leading coefficient is 1, when the leading coefficient is not 1, quadratic formula, okay? How to do graphing of slope, linear equations, how to do system of equations, how to do system of inequalities, like all of that, system of absolute values, all of your 4-point questions for your GED, all of that is listed there. Okay? I tried to give you as much as it come from. Where did the 1 come from? Because when you have a number divided by itself, it equals 1. Okay? So when I canceled out the x plus 2 and the x plus 2, that gives me the equivalency of 1. Okay? Yup. Your brain hurts? Hey, wait until Friday. So make sure you guys are following me. Follow me here on TikTok and also at the other places. Okay, the YT. Now this one I'm going to have to shrink a lot. I got to remember to make my writing so much smaller. Okay, so for the next one, we want to find the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, whose length is 8 and width is 3. What is the perimeter of a triangle whose length is 8 and width is 3? Rectangle. I think I said triangle. Rectangle. Sorry. It's getting kind of loopy now. All right. Yeah, when we get into advanced stuff with the domain and range, that's when we can go to x cannot equal. We got that. But right now, for those tests, they don't even put that in there. All right, so I got 22, 24, 22, Justice, 22, Candy, 22, 24, 24 centimeters, Big Al, 24. Are you parked, Big Al? Perry, so we got 22 with Tara, 22, Ali, 22, 22, 22, 24, Diamond, 24, Jared Ortiz, 22, Mickey, Big Al, 22, Joshua, 24, 22, 22, Dan, 22. Okay, living my life. Oh, hello, my love. How are you? Okay, Maxi 4. How's it 22? I didn't even break it down yet. I'm just saying what people are saying. Don't go changing your answers just because you see all these numbers flashing up here. Okay, so we got 24, 22. Gas station now. All right. All right, so there's a combination of 22 and 24. So let's take a look. So we have a rectangle. Okay, what we know about rectangle, they have 2 sets of congruent sides. Okay, so if we're saying that this is 8, this is also going to be 8 up here. We're saying that this is 3, that means this is 3 over here. So we're saying perimeter, okay, not area, perimeter. Okay, so that means we are adding up all the sides. Or some people like to remember the formula as 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, and then you can just plug in your numbers. So you got your 8 here, and you have your 3 here. Okay, so this will give us our 16. This will give us our 6. All right, so 16 plus 6, that gives us 22. And this is our units. Now, this is not my units squared because we're not looking at area. We're doing perimeter. Now, if I was doing area, that would be 8 times 3. Okay, perimeter, rim, adding up all the sides. Area, multiplying. Okay. All right, are we okay now? There we go. So Tina, make sure that is for your area. Okay, so that's how people were getting 22s instead of the 24s. Okay. All right, awesome, perfect. All right. Hold up how? What do you mean hold up how? All right, perfect. Hold up how what? What's the formula for area again? Area is your length times your width. But we're not asking for area, we're asking for perimeter. Okay, how's it 22? 8 plus 3, that's 11. 8 plus 3, that's 11. 11 plus 11 is 22. You're adding up all the sides. Okay, you're adding up all the sides. Right? There you go. Do you see it, Petty? Or are you just trying to be petty? Okay. Oh, thank you, Tamika. It is. It's like once you feel the pattern, not a problem. Okay. Now, can I find area? Yeah, we already did it. A lot of people already did that. I know, you just want to keep me on here, guys. But I got to do adulting stuff. Actually, I got to do more with the workbooks for you guys. All right, so now we're going to solve for x. This is going to be our last one for today. All right, so we got 2/3 x is equal to 6. Everybody's like, oh, it's fractions. Suck it up, buttercups, because this is like considered like a 3-point question on the GED. If it was just like 1/3, that would be considered a 2-point question. But because it's like this, that's considered a 3-point question. Because they know a lot of people are not really feeling the whole fraction thing. But guess what, babes? You got to. All right, so if you're thinking about getting that GED, you cannot skip those 4-point questions. Slope, equation of the line, graph and equation of the line. Factoring, volume, area, okay, area, circumference, perimeter. There we go. All right, so we got some 9s, we got some 9s, we got some 9s, got 12s, we got B's, and our B's are our 9s. We got A for 4. Okay, we got an A, we got 4, we got a 9, we got a D. All right, should be 12. I'm seeing some A's with a question mark. T-Bone is saying B. Loot is saying 9. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, waiting. Some B's and 4s. Can you just do the question? I could, but I need for you to get some home training. That's not how you ask. You know you got braids better than that. Come on now. And it's Black History Month. Don't mess with me. I'm just playing. I know, right? Jumping Jan. I know, babies. Come on. It's so funny when trolls come on here and I'm like, can you just do the problem? And I'm like, I can, but I need for you to get it together. All right. Okay, so let's break it down. I'm going to break it down step by step. I'm not going to get too fancy, just going to get into it. So in order for you to take it out of this fraction form so your anxiety will be a little bit less, is let's get rid of this denominator. So how do I get rid of it? Well, when I see a fraction, that means division. The opposite of division is multiplication. So what you could do is multiply both sides by that denominator. So once you get rid of the 3, what's left? We have 2x is equal to what 6 times 3 is, which is 18. So now you're like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. So now I want to know 2x. 2x is multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by that 2. So now I got x is equal to 9. All right? That's one way of doing it. Another way, change pens. We have our 2/3 x is equal to 6. Now, if you feel somewhat comfortable with fractions, what you could do is multiply by what's called the reciprocal. Now, the reciprocal of this fraction 2/3 is just simply flipped 3 over 2. Because what's going to happen? 2 divided by 2 will give us 1. 3 divided by 3, that will give us 1. So we are left with 1x, or just x. So if I multiply the reciprocal on one side, the equal sign, I have to do exactly the same thing on the other. Now, when you are multiplying a whole number with a fraction, you can make that whole number into a fraction without losing its value by putting it over 1. So now, if you want, you can do 6 times 3, which gives me 18, over 1 times 2, which gives me 2, which that equals 9. Okay. If you want to be fancy, see? If you want to be fancy with it, with that 6 times the 3/2, okay, I just grabbed the same color pen, that's funny. Right here, I can simplify. 6 divided by 2, that gives me 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay? Same problem, basically 2 different ways. Okay? Yeah, that's how you worked it? Okay. How often do I go live? I try my absolute hardest to go live every day. I really do. But when I get someone that needs me for tutoring, I jump ship and I go straight to that. So, I mean, I know I'll be on tomorrow because my schedule's a little light. But I can tell you possibly the next time I'm going to be able to go live, maybe Monday, Thursday, definitely Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay? I don't know about Tuesday. We have to see. Okay? But here's another thing. Not only, if you go here, okay, I have tons of replays. Okay, so if you go here, type in this, I actually have a playlist that is for TikTok Lives. And you'll see all my TikTok Lives from February 2nd of last year. So some of it I actually was able to do individual stuff, like just focus on factoring and focusing on certain areas. So that was one thing I was doing. Sorry, I was looking for my other book to show you guys. Oh, here it is. In the beginning, I used to do this thing. Audrey's notes. I was selling, and I still have them. It's still on the A. And you're probably like, what's the A? You know, the A. Okay. All of my books are there. And what I used to do is I actually took copies of all of my notes and I published them into books. So like if you want to, like I say right here, just scan, watch, and follow along to learn. So if you want all my notes, I have a cover of 6 books. So let's say for this one, finding the domain and the asymptotes of rational functions for all my people that like advanced stuff. Okay, this is when I had like the formulas, what's going on, and I walked you through my notes. Because at the very bottom, all you have to do is scan this QR code and it will take you directly to that YT video, that live, and then you'll just walk through the notes. And then I had like some other notes like this here. So I have those, and it's still available because I did from dividing polynomials, long division, and synthetic division. This one I have for rational expressions. This one, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing decimals. This one might have some interest for some people. Factoring the GCF and the trinomials. So this is what I did. These and the notebooks that I'm showing, like the pages, are directly from my math notebooks, the ultimate math notebook that I actually designed. So our kids need a math notebook that's designed for just math work. A lot of our kids nowadays are not taking notes. They just think that they show up in class and all of a sudden they're supposed to be flipping geniuses. Like, no. You still got to do work. You still got to have something to remind you how you should do these problems. So what I did was, again, there's a QR code. You scan the QR code, and then it takes you directly to the live. Okay, and all these lives are available, but this just helps organize it a little bit better. So that's what Audrey's notes is all about. One moment, because I have to do the whole little... Okay, so if you want some information about that, hey, the link is in my bio. Okay, if you just go to my link tree, it'll be in your bio. Now, if you are trying to get your GED and you need some help, or maybe you're just struggling with doing math and you're trying to go to, a lot of classes and you're just not getting it. I designed this thing called Algebra at Your Pace. It's a 15 volume. Right now, I think volume 8 is available. I'm still working on 9, 10, 11 right now as we speak. So what it is, it's a workbook. And this is more organized than Audrey's notes. So again, there is a QR code that you basically scan. So say for this one, properties of exponents. It gives you some helpful hints. It also gives you what the learning target is. You can tell I used to be a teacher. And then you give you a place for you to take down your notes. Okay, so when you're watching the videos, these are not available on YT. Okay, so if you just scan it, then you take your notes. There's a place for you to do notes. There's a place for you to do the practice problems that I'm going to have on the video. My videos are roughly like 20 minutes long, so you can fast forward, you can pause it, you can rewind it, but I always give extra practice problems. And then on this page, outside the video, you can sit there and watch and do some of the problems. Some of them are like GED or ASVAB related problems. And of course, the answer key is directly on the back. All right. So then after you do all the sections, so this one's square root, and after you do square root, then there is a quiz. Okay, I always give like a volume quiz, a quiz that's going to represent everything that's inside this book. So you can make sure that you understand and be able to apply what you just learned. Now, of course, there's answer keys, but I also give you some resources. Here's like a factor chart. Then we have the operations, the properties of exponents. It's basically having me as a tutor, but in paperback form. Okay, everything is in there. Okay, I can use the quadratic formula. Can I use the quadratic formula? Yeah, you can use the quadratic formula. All you have to do is just understand what is the quadratic formula. Your negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, and then you just plug in your a, b, and c. All right. Most of the things that's harder with the quadratic formula is that you just have to know how to put what has to go where and your breakdown, making sure you get your signs together. So for this first one, I gave like a free little gift with my exponents. This is the stuff that people usually mess up. So I created flashcards. So you can either take it out of the book, rip it out of the book, make copies of it, do whatever you want with it, just to help give you some extra practice on exponents. Okay, all that is inside of this particular book. We have more. Okay, the other ones, percents to decimals, decimals to percents. So this is my functions, my factors, ratios, and also order of operation. The part that a lot of people usually screw up on. Okay, so what I also do, I gave extra flashcards in the back. Okay, gave you some sections, some things to help you through the whole process, as well as the place values chart. Definitely had to add that into it. And then again, you'll get like a quiz at the very end of it. Same exact thing. I think after the second one, what I decided to do, instead of you keep scanning, because I know a lot of people generally don't have their phone with them all the time, I just put everything inside of one QR code, and then you'll get all of the videos for that one volume of one QR code. Make it a little bit simpler. All right. So this is what's happening. So if you are terrible at solving equations, this is the one for you. One step, multi-step. Okay, this is what I do. I do all this stuff for you guys. And I don't even know y'all. Staying up to 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes all night, making sure I get all these stuff for you. Linear equations, okay? Anything dealing with slope, okay? Plotting points, graphing, slope-intercept form. If you've taken the test and that's the area that you keep failing, this is the book for you, Volume 4. Remember that, okay? And then the last one that I have, I'm still waiting for my shipment to come in, is inequalities, systems, and absolute values. So with that, you have all of your graphing linear inequalities, okay, solving with absolute values, compound inequalities. And what I do is I give you answers, but if you want detailed answers, that's an additional cost. And you will be able to see that it's usually right here, okay? If you just want the detailed videos of how I broke down all of the extra practice problems and the volume quiz, okay? So these are the ones I have, and the other one that I released last Friday, not this past Friday, but the Friday prior, is on factoring, okay? So the factoring one is out. So again, if you want to, just so you know, this is the price list of it, okay, for the algebraic Europass. If you want the physical copy, and you're getting the physical copy from the A, okay, that's how much it is. You can also get the digital copy. That, again, that link is in the bio, okay? If you go to the link in my bio, you'll be able to get access to whatever you need. All the additional flashcards at any variance, you can get the digital. Now, here's the thing. If you're buying a digital copy of anything, I gotta emphasize it right here, okay? Make sure you look at the thank you page, because that's where the link of your stuff is, okay? Stop just buying stuff and ignoring the message at the end. Okay, definitely that the link for the product that you purchased is also in the thank you page. Okay, and remember, you better click and save before you click off, because if not, it's just going to disappear. I don't want to just take your money. I want you to educate yourself. I want you to advance. I'm not here for any get-rich scheme. If I was, I wouldn't be doing education because it's not that much. All right. What's in volume 1? Everything in volume 1 is dealing with integers, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing integers, positive and negative numbers, also looking at decimals, and also looking at your exponents. So the properties of exponents. Multiplying, you add the exponents. Dividing, you subtract the exponents. So it's all like the basis of math, okay? And I'm going to be truthful. If you don't know your multiplication table, please get with that. Knowing multiplication and knowing the exponents, you can do any form of math out there. Exponents is just basically shorthand for the multiplication, just like how multiplication is the quick version of addition. You gotta know those rules. Gotta know those rules, hands down. All right, you're so welcome. All right, so again, if you go to the link in my bio, you can see all of the books that I have, all of the activity books that I have, okay? All of these lovely, lovely ensembles, okay? I'm here to help, and as soon as I get off this live, I'm gonna go back to work. All right, so if anything, just in case you haven't noticed, please follow me here. Okay, follow me here on TikTok. Okay, you can also follow me on the A, and you can also follow it on YouTube. And if anything, if you really enjoy how I teach and you want to also support me, notice I'm not asking for money. Okay, make a post. Okay, even if it's like a faceless post, I will greatly appreciate that. What have you learned? I learned something from this crazy lady here on TikTok. Make sure you follow her. Or, you know, if you want to do a Google review, hey, go ahead. I will gladly accept that. Now, before I skedaddle, okay, here's a couple people that you should follow. I wish more people do this more on their lives, but this is just me. Okay, so if I'm not here and you need another person to help you with the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, okay, maybe do a little more of the worksheets. Make sure you follow Impact Math with Miss Taylor. Okay, she's awesome. Then if you are a person that's trying to get into nursing and you're struggling with the dosage calculations, make sure you follow a Blessed RN. Okay, she knows her stuff and she has the system down pat. Because, you know, I don't want you to kill anybody. Straight up, okay? Make sure you know those calculations. Professor TK, if you need help with chemistry, I know someone said something about physics, but chemistry, definitely hit up with Professor TK. And then if you want to learn a way to have the foundation and really get that down, make sure you see my friend Learning with Lynette. She's always on. She works with the abacus. And trust me, that is a skill set that is needed to help work that brain, to help understand where this math is coming from. All right, so make sure you follow her. But if you need help with like pre-calculus or calc, definitely go see Mr. M. Okay, Mr. M is really good with those concepts. All right, hey Lynette, I didn't know you were here. Well, then just talk to Lynette. She's right here. Okay. So that is basically what I have. There's a lot of stuff, and there's still more stuff to come. Overall, I just want you to embrace your greatness. Stop comparing yourselves to other people. You're no longer that middle school kid that's sitting in that classroom, getting pulled out, given a whole bunch of work to do, and you just don't know how to do it. But them labeling you that you are special ed or that you're dumb or whatever. You're not that person anymore, okay? You can do the math. You just need someone to take it step by step, all right? Not a problem, Big Al. Thank you. Okay, on YT, yes. This is where I am on YT. Okay, so again, if you need a tutor, yes, I charge $87 an hour. Okay, that's it. But if at the same time, if you need help with those concepts, that's why I wrote the books. That's why I wrote all these algebra at your place. Okay, that's why I have all these for you guys. Okay, it's just like having me as a tutor, but now you don't have to worry about a certain time and trying to make it up. It's just like when you have time, you do it. Hence the name, Algebra at Your Pace. See, it's all connected. Mr. M, where? He's here on TikTok. Yeah, just type in, just do a search for Mr. M, and he'll show up. Okay, just made it home. All right, good. I know, but you made it home safe, so thank God. I don't need to hear anybody else passing away for some crazy reason because you're listening to me. Like, that will kill me. Like, absolutely just bury me. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Cherry. Professor TK. Yep. All of these people that I have here on the back, all of these people are here on TikTok. Okay, all these people are here on TikTok. So Impact Math is on TikTok. A Blessed RN, she's on TikTok. All these guys. Professor TK. She's also, if you need anybody for tutoring, she's also tutors as well. Okay, so Impact Math and Professor TK and Mr. M, they all do tutoring. Okay. Okay, you're buying my book. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, and I appreciate all of you. So I'm going to get off here and see if I can start working more on a couple more volumes. And if you have any questions of like where to start, I'd rather you reach out and ask me a question before you make any kind of crazy purchases, okay? I'm not here to just rip everybody off. I want to be that person to help you get from wherever you are now to where you want to be. And that's no BS. Like, straight up, that's what I want. I want you to advance. I want you to grow. And if math is the only thing that's holding you back, well, then let me show you how to just move on. Okay? Let me help you move that button. Okay? If you need the foot in the butt, I'll do it. I'll be the foot. All right. Okay. For geometry, I don't see anybody doing geometry here, but I do tutor geometry. But I don't see anybody for TikTok. Maybe it hasn't been aligned to me yet. Maybe me announcing it the TikTok people might be listening and putting me into that perspective. And now the snow is really coming down, so maybe we might be getting a foot of snow. Really? Like, why? Get over it. No problem. No problem. All right, so I'm going to wrap up. You guys have an amazing evening. Be safe. And then I will talk with you tomorrow. It might be, I don't know if it's going to be twice, but it's definitely going to be sometime tomorrow. All right, probably tomorrow afternoon. All right, everyone. I know, right? If you want to chat, Lynette, I will be able to chat for a mo. Okay? All right, everyone. So have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Toodles.